everyone, in this video we are going to determine the measures of central angles and its intercepted arc. Before we jump into some examples, let's have some vocab here first. So central angle is this angle right here. It comes from the word center. So it is the angle that is located at the center of the circle. So this portion right here. So I'm gonna label this as green and this is our central angle. Second, we have minor arc. So minor arc, the measure of the minor arc, this is colored blue. Minor arc is less than 180 degrees, and the major arc in red is more than 180 degrees. And if it's exactly 180 degrees, we are gonna label it as a semicircle. Now let's have some examples here. Before we answer all of these, we always remember this two stuff here. First, the sum of the measures of the central angle is always 360 degrees, or the sum of all the arcs around the circle should always be equal to 360 degrees. Another thing that we need to remember, half of a circle, the measure or the sum of the central angle for half of a circle or semicircle should always be equal to 180 every time. So the arc as well would also be 180. So if it's a full circle, it's 360 degrees. And if it's half a circle, 180 and 180 degrees. Now, here's another thing that we need to remember. The degree measure of the central angle is equal to the degree measure of its corresponding arc or its intercepted arc. So if in this case that we have here, if this is 52 degrees, that means that the intercepted arc AD is also 52. So these two are the same. These two will have the same degree measure. So if this is 126 degrees, this is also 126 degrees. So I'll give you a trick. In order that we can label these, or we can determine the measures for all of these arcs and all of these angles here, it is very important that we label the picture first. We label the circle with all of its angle measures and all of its arc measures, so that we can just go ahead and add them and figure out whatever is being asked in the problem. So if we look at this picture that we have here, we have half a circle. So we are asked to find ECF. So this part right here. So this angle. So that's the measure of angle ECF. This is half a circle. That means the total from B going to E passing through F should be 180, but we got 126. So then that means in order to get the measure for this, since half a circle is 180, so I go ahead and subtract 126 from 180. So that's 180 minus 126 would be 54. So this is 54 degrees. And this one right here is also 126 degrees, since both the central angle and its intercepted arc are equal. So this is 54. So this one would also, the arc would also be 54. And that is again 180 minus 126. Now, as you can see here, since it's mentioned that EB, so line EB and line AF are diameters of the circle. So since they are diameters here and they meet at the center, that means this angle, these two are equal each other, and they are actually vertical angles. So they must be equal. So again, there's another video that talks about vertical angle. I will put the link of that video in the description box below. So these two are vertical angles. So they are equal. So that means if this is 54, this is also 54 degrees here. Because again, the degree measure of the central angle is equal to the degree measure of the corresponding arc or its intercepted arc. So this side right here is 52 degrees. Because again, they match up. Now in this part right here, we're supposed to find this angle, this portion. So we already completed everything. We remember that the whole circle is 360. So there are two ways that we can solve for this portion right here. So the first way is I can cover this part. I can go ahead and, since I know that this is half a circle, I know half a circle is 180. So I can go ahead and write 180 minus 52 and minus 54. So if I subtract 52 and 54, I can get this. So when I subtract these two from 180, I can get this value here. And if we do the math, this is 74 degrees. The other way to find 74 is we know that the whole thing is 360. So I can go ahead and say 360. Or this is the other way. So 360 minus 52 minus 54 minus 126 minus 54. And then just subtract 54. So that means to get this part, this is the whole thing is 360. So that is 360 minus 52 minus 54 minus 126 minus 54. The same answer, they get 74. So this part right here, or this arc, is 74. Once we label everything, we should be able to determine the measures for each of the angles really quick. So angle ECF is 54. And then we have angle ACB is 54. So that's 54 degrees. And then we have DCE. So that's DCE is 74 degrees. Okay, so we're ready to determine the measure of these arcs. So we start with arc AD. So arc AD means this arc, arc AD. And that is 52 degrees. So arc AD is 52 degrees. And then we have arc AB. Arc AB is 54 degrees. And then we have arc EF. It's 54 degrees. And then arc DE is 74 degrees because both the central angle and the arc are equal. So this is 74 degrees. And then we have the, so if we look at these numbers that we have here, they are all less than 180. So they are minor arc. So I'm going to write minor arc. This is also another minor arc. This is a minor arc. And this is a minor arc. Now let's move on to FBA. So how do we determine this measure, FBA? So we go through these letters. So we start from F, then we go to passing through B, and then we go to A. So if I were to trace that over here, so I start from F. So that's where I start. I go to A, passing through B. So this portion right here. So that's FBA. So I'm going to add all the measures that are enclosed in this. And these arcs are 126. So that would be 126 degrees plus 54. So this is the work that I showed to find for arc FBA. FBA, so 126 plus 54. And the total for this is 180. So this is 180 if we add 126 and 54. So this is a semicircle since it is 180. Now let's move on to the next one. So let me erase this part right here so we can move on to the next one. So putting labels are, once we put the label to the circle, then it would be quick to determine all the rest of these angles here, or these measures. So let's have BDA. So where do we go from? We go from B, then we go to F. So BDF. So we start from B, then we go to D, and then we go all the way to F. So I'm going to make this curve right here. So that's from B, then I go to D, then I stop on F. So this is the arc that we're looking at. So in order that we can get the measure for this, the ones that we're adding would be 54 plus 52 plus 74 and then plus 54. And then if we add all these, this is gonna equal to 234. And so this is a major arc. So we added, because it was from B going all the way to F passing through D. So we already solved everything. At this time, I would encourage you to pause this video and try this problem out on your own. And when you're done, unpause it and check your answer. Okay, so we go over the problem here. So first, we are given 140 degrees for FB, and then we have ED, so we're missing these parts here. We remember that half of a circle is 180, so we already got 140 for this angle right here. So that means this left over here would be 40 degrees because the sum of half of a circle is 180. So since these two are vertical, then I can go ahead and say this is also 40 degrees. And so their arc measures would also be 40 degrees and 40 degrees since the measure of the central angle and its intercepted arc are equal or in terms of degrees. So this one right here would be 85. And then we can get the measures for this by determining that since this is half of a circle and half of a circle is 180, so then we can go ahead and say 180 minus 85 minus 40. And so this measures right here, if we subtract 85 and 40 from 180, since this is half a circle, it's 180 degrees, this should come out 55 degrees. And so this arc right here is equal to that of the central angle in terms of degrees. So that is 55 degrees as well. So then we can go ahead and determine the measures for this. So FCB, so that's FC and B is 140 degrees. So next, angle A, that's angle ACB, that's 40 degrees. And then angle FCE. So that is FCE is 40 degrees. And then angle DCA is 55 degrees. Okay, now let's find the measures for this arc. So let's start with arc AB. So arc AB is 40 degrees. Next, we have arc FE. Arc FE is 40 degrees. And then arc DA. So DA is 55 degrees. And then we move on to arc DAB. So we start from point D. So from here, that's point D. Then we pass through A and go to B. So DAB. So this part right here. So the numbers that we're adding are 55 degrees and 40 degrees. And so that would give us 95 degrees. So angle DAB is 95 degrees. Now, all of these are less than 180. So all of these are minor arc. So that's a minor arc. So all of these four are minor arc. Again, they are minor arc because they are less than 180 degrees. Now let's have DFA. So let me erase this part here so that we can start over with the rest of the arcs. So we have arc DFA. So we start from D, then we go to F, then we stop on A. So again, we start on D, we go to F, and then we stop on A. So this is arc DFA. So the numbers that we're adding here would be, first we add 85. So that's 85 plus 40 plus 140 plus 40. And so if we add all of these together, this would sum up to 305 degrees. And so this is a major arc. Okay, and then we're gonna erase this so we start over to do the next one. So let me take this off. So let's erase this. Okay, and then we move on to arc FAD. So what are we looking at is we start from point F, then we pass through A, then to D. So we start from F from here, then we go to A, and then we stop on D. So we start we start from F, then we go to A, then we go to D. So this is the arc that we're looking for. So that is arc FAD. So in order to do that, we're adding 140 degrees plus 40 degrees plus 55 degrees. And so if we do the math on this is 235, and this is a major arc. Okay, and we have the last one. So the last one is arc EDB. So let's see where that is, and let's see what are the numbers that we're adding, the ones that are enclosed to get this arc. So we start from E. So E is right here. Then we go to D, and then we go to B. So from E, we go to D, and then we go to B. So that is arc EDB. So then the numbers that we're adding here are 85 plus 55 plus 40. And then the sum of this is 180 degrees. And so this is a semicircle. Did you get the same answers as this? Good. Perfect. If you find this video helpful, hit like and subscribe for more math videos. See ya!